attorney, or are you still representing?
I do not have a defense attorney. He withdrew himself. I had Mr. Moscato. He got me out of jail. I was there for 11 days, unfortunately.
Why so long?
It was a bizarre situation. The judge brought me in after about 3.5 months into this case, and he said that he was taking me in. So he said he was remanding me and revoking my bail. And Mr. Moscato was able to give me a hearing. That's what he told me. And released me like 10 days, 11 days later. It was like Monday the 4th to like November the 14th.
So currently you represent yourself?
Yeah, which I don't know the legality of that with a mental health evaluation pending. It's a little bizarre, but
did you feel you could trust Mr. Moscato?
yeah, I think so. I've been told he's one of the best lawyers I was going to say in Buffalo, but this is Buffalo. I've been told he's one of the best lawyers, so I mean, he seems like he knows what he's doing.
Do you know why he withdrew?
I think he just didn't want to be involved. There's a conflict of people we know, like this is I don't know if this could be true, but he said it was because I filed for a copy of the mental health evaluations, a FOIA request, but I think it's really just because he's probably got a lot going on. He probably has connections to different people. He doesn't want to be involved in political drama. That's my personal opinion. But he told me it was because I filed the FOIA request, just to give you 100% transparency.
Tell me more about that.
I'm sorry, what's that?
So the FOIA request, you went through a mental health evaluation.
And I just requested a copy from the court, and then he said, he told me not to go to, he told me, not to go to the court to file, anything to get the district attorney removed, so I didn't do that. But I guess the FOIA request, he didn't want me to file it either. I just really don't know. I think he's obviously knows what he's doing now, as far as your first question.
Do any filing about the district attorney?
No, he told me not to do it. He said, don't make the case more complicated than it needs to be. It'll end up getting dismissed. So I told you, like you were saying before, if someone has, and it's something not, I'll take their judgment for it. It's not a, I know my, I put it on my car. I'm trying to.
Do you plan on trying to find a new attorney? Not just representing yourself.
I would take a new attorney. They gave me an application for the public defender's office, but as far as I know, they were put on administrative leave for some sort of thing that's going on right now. The public defenders that were supposed to be helping me in this case were put on administrative leave like a week after I got out of jail. So I would like to get a public defender or an assigned counsel, but if I can find an attorney that will represent me, that would be my first option.
Yeah.
And then obviously if I need to represent myself, I would, but if they already offered me to accept just to let it get dismissed, like an adjournment in contemplation of dismissal. So I told them I'd accept that, but I don't know, it seems that they are.
So you were offered an ACD?
Yeah, that's correct.
As like a plea?
Yeah, that was about 2 or 3 months ago.
And you agreed to that?
Well, they said they wanted me to go to counseling, and I said I didn't want to go to counseling, so I said I'd take the ACD as long as I didn't have to go to counseling. So that was a stipulation we couldn't agree on. But I'll take the ACD, but I just don't want to, I've had a lot going on in my life, and I just don't want to be, going and talking to someone about my personal life. It's just too, I'd rather just, keep focused, keep working, keep, trying to build a successful life and not have to keep going over things that happen in my life and that are, upsetting.
Okay. you feel? What would you do if you did have an attorney and you wanted to bring witnesses to support your case? Like, how would you work with them on that?
I'm sorry, could you elaborate? Like witnesses on my defense?
Yeah, to support your side of the case.
I mean, that would be great. I couldn't understand why I wouldn't want to have someone speak in my defense, right?
What about in terms of courtroom behavior? What should anyone's behavior be like in the courtroom?
Obviously, the utmost respect. Always tell the truth. Me personally, I think people should dress professionally at court, but I personally haven't always in this case because I think it's unwarranted. I shouldn't be being subjected to this. Unfortunately, I am, but I think people should dress nice. Obviously, have respect to all participants, all people participating in the court process, and obviously, always tell the truth.
What do you think you should do if something upsets you during the trial?
Well, in a situation like that, you have to keep your composure. You can't, it's really just a matter of controlling your emotions, I'd say. But I don't see myself getting to a point where I could be provoked or upset in a situation like that. It's more when I know that I'm not going to be, sometimes you just need to let a little emotion out. So, unfortunately, if like someone is harassing you or something and you kind of tell them to F off or something, sometimes you're just like getting that frustration out. But in a courtroom, obviously that wouldn't be like acceptable,
Okay. I know we talked a little bit about the charges and some other people that who've had similar things going on. Do you think the charges against you are fair or unfair?
Unfair.
And why is that?
Well, I'm innocent, so it's not really, I think like the people are just doing their job, they're responding to the report, everything like that. I just feel like I'm innocent. It's not unfair for any other reason than I just am innocent.
Is there any part of what's going on is a conspiracy in any way?
No.
Have you ever thought that the judge or lawyers might have a plan against you?
No.
Do you think there's a chance that you could be found not guilty?
Yes.
And what would that mean for you?
That would mean I could still pursue real estate, still possibly work in law enforcement. I mean, not that you can't work in law enforcement if you've been convicted of criminal mischief, but it's kind of ridiculous anyway. But like there was, I believe, a Lockport supervisor or a Lockport. I can't remember exactly what the public official was, but he stabbed out opponent's tires like a few months ago, and so people, things happen all the time to people that work in law enforcement, but I would like to just keep a clean record. That's all it would really mean for me, is being able to prove that I'm not a criminal.
And do you know what it means if you're found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt?
That I would have to accept whatever punishment the judge would decide at that time.
Have you ever felt like people are watching you or trying to harm you for no clear reason?
No.
Have you ever felt like you've seen or heard things that other people haven't been able to?
No. I'm sorry.
Have you had any difficulties recently with like memories in terms of like dates or important conversations?
No, I'm pretty good, man.
Appointments, things like that. Obviously not today.
No, I've just had issues with my vehicle, with my registration, and the other, like the court appearances that I missed, I just, they sent me 2 different letters the one time because the court case got moved a couple hours, I believe. And I didn't appear in family court recently because if my family has it doesn't matter because I know I didn't do anything to them. Everyone knows that all the text messages show that I wasn't, harassing anyone. If they want to, take my mom's house, I don't care to be involved in the process at all.
So there's family court involvement as well?
Yeah, my brother is I can't say that I'm not a doctor, but he's a little bit crazy, and he's been wanting to control my mom's house, so I'm letting him, he wants to be in control of her estate, so that's, I'm just letting him be in control. When you said, the thing about missing dates, I thought you were referring to me missing the family court date, that's why.
No, I just mean, generally, if you had trouble with memory, things like that.
Oh, no, definitely not. I have the last psychiatrist I met, she reiterated multiple times how great of a memory that I have. I feel like I have tremendous memory. I remember almost everything.
So emotionally, how have you been feeling lately?
I've been just going to the gym if I'm ever in a situation where I need to kind of reset or something like that, I try to go to the gym and exercise but I feel pretty good. I'm as good as I can be for what I've been through.
Do you ever think that your emotions interfere with your ability to think clearly, make decisions?
I think anybody's does over the course of their life, but mine personally, no, not that's kind of a gray area, right? Because, how far can you take that if your emotions about, certain feelings about a girl or different things, how far are you willing to go to pursue them? I mean, that can all be subjective, right? But no, I don't feel it.
Anything today that we discussed that you didn't understand or that you want me to explain more or over again?
No, I think we had a pretty good understanding.
What about concerns about your case that we didn't talk about? Do you have any concerns about that we didn't talk about at all today?
No, I just, as far as I know, I spoke to Mr. Moscato, and he said that the case would end up getting resolved or dismissed, and we already said, they offered me an ACD, and it's kind of, and as far as the family court thing, I had an order of protection against my brother as well, so it was a two-side, the court just gave us both one just to,
Stay away from each other.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened before?
No.
Has there ever been an order of protection against him?
That's why I just don't even care to engage with him because I'm 31 years old, and if you've never filed one until after our mom passes away, clearly it's just a strategy to use for real estate, and I'm not going to get involved in games for that.
When did your mom pass away? I'm sorry to hear that.
September 8th, 2003. Yeah.
For me about what happens next?
As far as I know, you just submit this to the court, and then I was hoping they would give me a copy of it, but they didn't give me a copy of the first two. Mr. Moscato said one was good, one was bad, apparently, which I don't understand how that's possible.
So I don't want to use the words good and bad, but I can explain that further. So it sounds like you've already met with two different people. I'm going to guess Dr. Joseph and Dr. Heffler.
Yes.
They disagreed. And when they disagree, they ask a third person to do one to serve as sort of a tiebreaker. So that's why we're meeting today.
Okay.
So I do what I said I would do. I kind of do my evaluation today and write my considerations, and then I don't really, and then I submit it to the court. I don't have any involvement after today working with you.
Right.
And then submitting my evaluation results.
Are you a psychologist or?
Yes. Yes. So I'm a licensed psychologist.
Do you do, you don't do outpatient treatment though, or? things like that?
Like, do you mean like counseling?
Yeah.
Typically, no. My practice focuses more on evaluation things like this. I work with children and adults who might need evaluations for services from the state or from the school system.
Okay, because I was gonna say they wanted me to go to counseling. You're pretty easy to talk to. I don't want to go. I don't want to go to counseling, but
Yeah.
that's what I was wondering. But
I would actually, even if I did do counseling and you wanted to do that with me, I would not be able to because of this.
I gotcha.
It would immediately be a conflict of interest because I did this evaluation of you for the court.
Okay, yeah, well, they part of, I believe, this whole, well, not this, but this agreement that they wanted me to take, to circle back to that, was they wanted me to go to counseling.
Okay.
But I don't like talking to people that I can't talk to easily, so it's more of, you're like pretty easy to talk to, where you just kind of ask the question and not like prying and not like invasive, where some people are like trying to force stuff out of you and it kind of makes it uncomfortable, so yeah.
Is that something you experienced in the last couple of evaluations?
No, not particularly from them, just different doctors in the past. My childhood doctors, kind of a little bit, and different like primary doctors that I've had try to like. And I saw a psychiatrist that at the Den Tower, and he was kind of a little strange, but. So I just thought you were the most easiest.
So you feel like
Yeah, he ruled that I was completely like normal. He said no, I had no medical issues. No.
But it wasn't for the court though.
Yeah, no, I had a separate one done because they did this to me in the past in 2022. So unfortunately, I believe that because I already had one before, I was ruled competent in that one. I had the evaluation at ECMC, and obviously I was confident. Like, I only saw one doctor that time though.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the deal is. Seeing three, maybe it's something different in Niagara County.
I really couldn't answer that. I only work in Niagara County.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure.
So after. When they did it this time, I wasn't that surprised because I've been through the process, and it's a different county, so it's not like it's some like conspiracy. I'm guessing it's something they just do to like.
So you saw a psychiatrist at Den for court purpose?
No, not for a non-court purpose. Just to try to get anxiety medication because I don't even want to talk about this. Both of my brothers passed away before my mom passed away, and I have like panic attacks when I get extremely stressed and I start like hyperventilating, and I don't need the medication all the time, but for instances like that, I was just trying to get a prescription to go see like a psychiatrist, and he was like, you don't even need, like, he's like, you're more than, you don't even need medication for that, you just have to kind of deal with it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, like...
So do you have any medicines now for anything?
No, no medication. I have a clean drug test as well.
Yeah, well, I don't mean that. I mean, like, prescribed medicine.
Oh, yeah, no, they say that I don't need any medication. Like, so I'm like, all right, like, you know, like, because they say, like, just because you have a panic attack sometimes doesn't need to be on medication, sort of thing. And, like, you can't argue with a doctor. You know, I'm not a doctor, so it's kind of like, you know, if they're not going to do it, I can't go to the doctor every week and be back and do the same thing. You kind of just gotta live with it.
Every year?
No, after like 2 years ago when the place closed down, I never got a new one. Like the place that I was at, it was like it was on Maple, I'm sure you know where that is. They got bought out by like another company and they switched ownership, yeah, so it was like all the doctors like moving around all this. Like,
I do.
They all move around and so.
Alright, any questions for me?
Maybe if they do say that if that's something they are hung up on, as me getting the counselor, maybe you can point me to, like, if it's something that I'm gonna have to do to get this result, like, cause I know I'm not guilty, but unfortunately, sometimes when you're dealing with situations like this, you kind of just have to, you know, like, if they want me to go to counseling, then maybe I'll just have to go just to appease them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, maybe you can point me in that direction to a counselor or something, but if that's something that they're hung up on as part of because that was the only thing that we couldn't agree on before as part of the agreement, so.
Okay. The panic attack stuff, does that still happen?
Oh yeah, it's like I have like regular anxiety, but apparently like they say like that's normal. Everyone is a little bit stressed out about their daily life and things like that. Like I don't know, but when I have the panic attacks, it's like severe. They have some on video. Like when they took me like into custody when they initially arrested me back in July at the North Tonawanda police station. I had when I had to go to the hospital. It's like pretty severe. I explained it to the last doctor.
What does it feel like?
It's like everything like starts like closing in on you, and you start like kind of losing like spatial awareness momentarily for like a minute or two, and it kind of is like you like start breathing real heavy, and then like you can't focus on what is around you for that minute or two because you're kind of have like your heart's going really fast, you're kind of just regaining your. The symptoms I've had it used to happen, it would be like 10 seconds. You know, it'd be very quick, and then you kind of just like, you get like a little stressed out. Or, you know, like I remember one time I was in like Target, and, you know, I was thinking about other stuff going on, and I just got like real stressed out in the aisle for a second, and then it's like, then you're fine, right? But lately, it's been like more severe where I'm like vomit when I'm having symptoms. I'm like vomiting, having extreme hyperventilation, like things like that, where it's like extreme onset anxiety as opposed to like a little panic attack. But I mean, I've been through a lot of traumatic events in the last 5 years. You know, both of my brothers have passed away and my mom, so it's kind of like they say that that's normal and to have anxiety if you have events of.
You don't have to share this if you don't want to. I'm curious how, what happened, how did they pass away?
From overdoses. My mom, I'm not sure, but my brothers.
Both of your brothers? And you have to share a lot.
Obviously, I don't use drugs because it's like, it's almost disrespectful to like even, like, do it as hard as it is. It's what they do almost, you know. I'm trying not to cry. I cried in the last one, so.
Did you?
Yes.
It would be a normal response for someone who has experienced what you've experienced to be upset.
Well, that's why I was saying, like, I don't like to, like, even like talk or like anything like that. Just,
Yeah. I understand. I don't have any more questions for you. I'm all set. Otherwise, I'm not gonna make you sit here and wait. If you need a minute, you can take a minute.
I just choke myself up and try not to cry.
They're right next to you. If you want to bring a couple when you're in the car.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
I appreciate the time today. Thanks for coming in.